Tears of the Kingdom has been an absolute blast for me, and while I am typically pretty harsh on Nintendo Switch graphics, this game looks pretty darn good. But you all know what I'm about to do. We are going to take this game to the next level. This is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on PC, baby. We will be taking a look at how we can improve the graphics by making the game look sharper, and how we can double the frame rate to achieve 60 frames per second. Originally, I was not able to find anyone with a powerful enough PC to handle the 60 FPS mod with upscaling. However, I decided to build a new PC recently, and this thing is powerful. So, I recorded some juicy footage for you guys. Also, if you're worried about spoilers for the game, I got you. I only used footage from the first 15 minutes of the game because I think everyone should experience this game for themselves. In order to have the full experience of this video, make sure you have your quality set to as high as possible on YouTube. Anything lower than 1080p will negate the effects of the magic. Speaking of magic, oh wow! It's a word from our sponsor. Life isn't always easy, and when you face some trouble, like a car accident, Morgan & Morgan wants to make submitting a claim as easy as possible. In 8 clicks or less, you can be connected to the largest injury firm in the US. You can literally submit a claim from the comfort of your own couch. So don't wait. Go to forthepeople.com/Linklight2 for more info, and thank you to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. Let's start with internal upscaling. Well, here we are again with another Photoshop segment so I can show you guys what true upscaling does. Ignore the Mike Wazowski, it's completely irrelevant to the topic of the video. In order to demonstrate everything I want to show you, I took a ton of screenshots. Like, I don't even know how many are in here. Obviously, we're not going to show all of them, but I'll show the ones that I think look the coolest. Okay, so I got 2 similar screenshots imported at the moment. The first thing I want to show you is pure scaling. Check out how much extra pixels you get when you play a game at 1440p instead of 1080p. So here's the full frame for 1440p, and here is 1080p. Isn't that crazy? It looks like an expansion of the entire window. Like it's so many more pixels, it's unbelievable. But in order to really show the differences and keep like a fair playing field, I do have to stretch the image of the 1080p so that it fits the entire display. Okay, I got everything lined up, and now the screenshots should be somewhat similar. Close enough. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna zoom in to 100 times so you can see the details. And let's take a look at these leaves here. As you can see, they're kind of blurry. It's kind of hard to make out what we're looking at, but then in 1440p, boom, it's just so much sharper. You can see each individual leaf. And we'll zoom in even further to really drive this point home. Let's do a 400% zoom. And we'll focus on the Temple of Time here, which is like this little piece, and then the leaves here. So this is what it looks like on PC, 1080p, 1440p. And the Switch doesn't really do true 1080p. We've talked about this before. It's more like 720p upscaled, but not internal upscaling, which is what emulation does. Normal upscaling is just stretching the image. So yeah, Switch, PC. It's absolutely night and day. It's ridiculous. Let's check out another screenshot. All right, the next screenshot we got for you guys includes some water. I think water is gonna look really cool. So Link is just chilling in this pond. This is the Switch version that you're looking at. Let's look at the PC version. Boom. Honestly, right off the bat, it doesn't look too different, I'm not gonna lie. But I will say this, like when I switch from Switch, which we're looking at right now, to PC, I get this effect where it's kind of like I'm putting on glasses. Like everything is just so much more sharper. But let's go ahead and zoom in so we can really see some dramatic effects here. So here's Link all zoomed in on the Switch. And as you can see, when you zoom in this much, it's kind of hard to make out the whites of Link's eyes, right? It just kind of look like blue meshes. You can't see the white part of Link's eyes, but if we switch to PC, boom. Suddenly you can actually see the white parts of Link's eyes. He's much more defined and detailed, and you kind of get the picture, right? Like the picture I'm painting here is just that you get much more clarity, and it's so nice. Let's go back to Switch. Look at all these plants in the background, right? Like they're all just like pixelated meshes. Almost looks like it's kind of painted. It has a nice stylized look to it. I'm not trying to sit here and roast the Switch because I think this game looks really good on the Switch. The fact that Nintendo was able to even make this game run at all on the Switch is impressive. But I'm just saying, imagine if you could get a little bit more, and that's what PC allows you to do, right? That's the beauty of it. So we look at these plants here, and then we boom, upscale. Suddenly it's like so much more detailed. You can see the little individual lines here. It's absolutely mind-blowing how cool this is. I haven't even looked at the water yet. Let's try to look at the water kind of around Link's legs. This is PC, and this is Switch. Honestly, it's just water. I can't really tell the difference. You could argue it's sharper. It definitely looks sharper. But does that matter? I mean, water, it's not like we look at the reflections too much anyway. But yeah, obviously it's sharper and clearer on PC. And we'll look at the leaves one more time just to kind of soak it in. Yeah, it's like a little blurry. And then when you switch it to PC, wow, nice and sharp. Big surprise. Everything is just sharper on PC. 100%. Yeah, even this little stone here, you can just see much more detail when you switch it to PC versus on the Switch. It gets a little blurry. You might be thinking that we're looking too deep into this. Like, is this noticeable during gameplay? I want to let you know that it absolutely is noticeable during gameplay, like 100%. You get to see 60 of these beautiful images per second flashing into your eyeballs, and it just looks awesome, like absolutely incredible. Speaking of 60 frames per second, let's check out the mod you've all been waiting for. Okay, I know some of you are sitting there salivating for the 60 frames per second, so let's do it. Using the 60 FPS mod, we can double the frame rate. Here is some footage recorded by Gravity. He has helped me so many times in the past and came in clutch for this video. So, thank you, Mr. Gravity. I needed his help because when I originally planned this video, his PC was way more powerful than mine. Now that I've played this on my own powerful machine, I can see that this footage is actually quite laggy. Here's some footage recorded from my PC for a comparison. I will have both my PC specs and his on the screen so you can get an idea of what you need to be working with. The first thing I notice when I watch his footage is that transparency in UI elements is completely broken. That is a minor issue, but I thought I'd bring it up. He says, and I quote, "I'm running a visual fixes mod that hard disables post-processing and does some stuff I am unsure of with shadow resolution. Personally, I can't really tell the difference. The shadows look the same to me. They flicker and kind of look ugly in my opinion, even on the Switch. I was actually able to get the shadows to look amazing, though I'll get to that later in my upscaled gameplay. The gameplay looks pretty cool when it's running at 60. It has a little bit of an uncanniness to it, but overall, I really like it. One thing it totally breaks though is cutscenes. Timings get messed up and they run at double speed, which is totally to be expected though. If you watched my Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on PC video, you might remember a similar issue. Oh, and something I completely overlooked when I was first looking at the footage was how broken the lighting is in this cutscene when Link is waking up. Like, what happened here? This is pretty bad. I did figure out how to fix some of these issues though. We'll get back to that later. Let's take a small break from the beautiful frame rate and check out some cool differences when running the game at a higher resolution. Now that we have everything combined, upscaling and 60 FPS, this is a big game changer. The original plan for this video was that I would only be able to show you one at a time, but my PC absolutely conquered this thing. I also got a 1440p monitor, so I was able to get the full upscale to show. Here are some of the fun experiences I had while playing this game with everything maxed out. You'll even see me push the game past 4K later. Yo, the new PC coming in clutch. This is 60 uninterrupted, 1440p, and I'm recording and it's all smooth. All I needed was a $4,000 computer to make it happen. Let's go. Looking good. I'll try not to move the camera too fast because, you know, if I move it too fast, then it'll start to get degraded in quality on YouTube. But to my human eyes, in person, it just looks phenomenal. It's so sharp and smooth. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to console after this. This just looks too good. I will say that I am recording this many weeks after the game's release. So maybe all the glitches and bugs have been patched out, so this can actually be fully playable on PC. I really want to see the outside. I feel like that's where you're going to be able to notice the most differences with a bunch of things in the background and the distance. You get a little bit of lag when I first hit that enemy, but after that it was pretty smooth.
You're not hurt, are you, Link?
Yeah, this cutscene looks insanely sharp.
This all aligns with what I've read during my studies.
This shot of Zelda's face is so cool looking. I was told that these cutscenes were broken in the 60 FPS mod because they're running at double speed. But that's not true, like everything looks completely fine to me. The timings are completely perfect.
Maybe we'll find more answers farther ahead.
Maybe the shadows on Link there were incorrect, because that did look a little weird, but I'll have to rewatch the Switch footage to make sure.
Maybe we'll find more answers farther ahead.
I just can't get over how smooth everything is. 1440p, not even my friend with a 3080 and an i7 13700K was able to get this game to run at 60 144p while recording, but I'm able to do it. I guess the i9 really did come in clutch. I almost didn't get an i9. I'm very happy I did. Yeah, this shot here is just so much sharper than it was in 1080p. Looks amazing. So much detail captured. I think all cutscenes run in engine because so far everything has been 60 FPS. If it was a pre-rendered video, they'd be stuck at 30. Oh wait, okay, I think this cutscene might be broken. It looks like it's running in double speed. Yeah, this looks unnatural. Yeah, it looks insanely unnatural, and the sound effects are desynced. I don't know how I feel about this though, because yeah, the cutscene is running at double speed, so is it a pre-rendered video? I can't tell. I feel like it is a pre-rendered video. I feel like there's artifacting.
Link!
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters souls against my power cannot save you.
Oh, the audio is like overlapping. Okay, so that's actually like a serious problem. It's playing the sound from when my heart is drained, and then it started playing dialogue. At least the dialogue is on the correct timing, but yeah, this is just a broken mess. Okay, so never mind. I guess the game is not fully playable. You could definitely replay the game on PC, but if it's your first time, you have to like absorb the story. That's like half of what makes the game so good. So you definitely can't play this as a first-time experience unless you remove the 60 FPS mod. I wonder if it's because that cutscene is specifically a pre-rendered video and it's just doubling the frame rate, or not every cutscene has been optimized. I guess we'll find out right here. I believe this is in engine. Let's see if it looks unnaturally fast. This looks insanely sharp compared to the Switch though, I will say just right off the bat. Very, very clean visuals. Honestly, I think it's running at proper timing. Yeah, that looks pretty well synced actually. Okay, so I can safely confirm that any cutscene that is a pre-rendered video will be broken, but any in-engine one works completely fine. This one works perfectly well. I feel like that's kind of an easy fix somehow. I feel like the mod could just tell the game, don't double the frame rate of pre-rendered videos, and then boom, everything's magically fixed. Okay, so the entire intro sequence is pretty reasonably playable with all the bells and whistles, just, you know, a little hiccup there with the cutscene. Wow. I'm blown away, bro. I just can't get over how good this looks. I thought it looked good before, just with some minor upscaling, but now, like, with everything together, my life has changed. Yeah, just look at this texture. I remember stopping here when I first played. This looks like a whole, like, there's just so much more detail that you couldn't see before. Yeah, wow. Now that's what I call sharp. I wonder if, like, in-house, Nintendo was able to get the game to run at 60. Like on their development testing kits or whatever they use to develop these games. I highly doubt that 60 FPS was ever a target for Nintendo, considering that the first game was locked at 30. But maybe at one point in time they did think about it. There's also the unknown certainty of what's going to happen later this year or next year. Like, is there going to be a Switch Pro? Is there going to be a Switch 2? Like, no one knows. It'd be really cool if, you know, a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 enabled, you know, people to play old Switch games at higher frame rates. But once again, I do doubt that's going to happen. But it would be cool. But either way, that's why I'm making this video, to showcase the beauty of what PC can do, bro. Even if the devs didn't intend it to be experienced this way, we get to experience it this way. And that's what makes it so cool. Probably equip that real quick. Yeah, even Link just looks way sharper and cooler in the menu. And there it is, the long hallway. Finally get to see what the outdoors looks like with all the enhancements. Now, one of two things might happen. My frame rate might completely dip because, well, now it has to render a lot more. Or, no way, it's still smooth. Well, I suppose my computer is a beast because this is crazy. This looks so surreal to my eyeballs. I love it. I am so happy I got this computer. Dude, look at how cool this looks. I can't get over it. The rock textures and everything. This is so surreal. I feel like I'm one of the few people that even get to experience this. Like, even my old computer was considered to be like pretty good, and it couldn't run this. So not many people will be able to say that they can experience this game in 1440p at 60 frames per second. But I'm happy I get to share it with you guys. Let's stop delaying, let's just go down the hill. So the shadows look a lot more detailed. However, there is this line effect happening that's kind of messing with my eyes. It's only visible while moving. If I stand still, I can't really tell where the line is. But it's very apparent. Yeah, look at the edge of the shadow here to the right of my character as I move up and down. That's pretty distracting. Alright, looks like we're in combat. I already forgot how to play this game. I have not played this game since it came out. I just haven't had time. I thought he's supposed to drop his stick. Alright, we're grabbing a new stick. Alright, that works for me. Wow, look at the explosion. Everything is in 60 frames per second. Usually, like, some things are low FPS, but not in this game. Everything, even like the way the wind is blowing the trees, it's all 60. Maybe you could argue that looks a little unnatural. Trees kind of look like they're jiggling, like they're made of jello or something. But I'm sure with some manual tweaking, some modder could make it look a little better. Either way, though, just me walking around is just such a cool experience. I wish you could see it with your own eyes. I hope the video looks good on YouTube. I really hope the footage is done justice with the compression. Oh my gosh, the running looks so good. I believe there was a shot of me running like right around here, so I'm gonna try to recreate this. Yeah, I can't get over how cool this looks. Alright, we're gonna talk to this guy. You get a nice comparison for this cutscene. Right off the bat, I mean, just every nook and cranny in this dude's rocky texture is just so visible and sharp. I can't get over what my eyeballs are seeing right now. Something I'm noticing is the bottom of the Switch's screen there, or the Purapad screen. It's kind of like doing this weird dancing effect on the bottom. Wonder if that's present on native Switch footage. Now we get a nice, good, clean shot of the Temple of Time. This could be really good for a comparison. Looking down here, you can definitely tell lower level of detail models down there. It's much more noticeable at 1440p because, well, you can actually make out what we're looking at. Wow, even the waterfalls look kind of interesting that far away. I will say this monitor is also extremely color accurate, so it looks phenomenal compared to what I played a few weeks ago. Because I'm used to the colors being a little more washed out. But yeah, this water is so cool at 60 FPS. I absolutely love the way it looks. Alright, let's get into some combat. See how that looks. I love how much grass there is in this game. The fact that it's able to run on the Switch at a stable 30 FPS is quite impressive. I mean, to be fair, the game does dip below 30 FPS quite frequently. But either way, I am impressed at the Switch's performance. This is not a video meant to roast Nintendo, because honestly, did a pretty alright job. Now, isn't this supposed to be a transparent menu, but instead it's now all black? So that's actually a straight up downgrade, but yeah. Combat is clean, no lags, no hiccups. I could probably render the game at 4K if I wanted to, but I'd probably lose some performance. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and try to run this at 4K on my computer. I'm actually quite curious if I can handle it. Okay, here we go. Attempting to run the game in 4K. Wait, so technically I have been running the game in 4K, so this would be whatever is in between 4K and 8K, because this is 8K. Alright, the next step up. Here we go. We are now 3 times native. And somehow it's still very smooth. I'm actually quite impressed. Is it stable 60? It is. That is a stable 60 FPS. I'm running the game at even higher than 4K. What the heck? What kind of a computer did I get, bro? That's crazy. Alright, for the final segment, we're gonna go ahead and bump the graphics up to 3 times native. I have been playing on 2x native the whole time you've been seeing the PC footage. So this is 3x native. I never thought it'd be possible to be able to run the game like this while at 60 FPS. So this will be quite a treat. My monitor can't even display this many pixels, but as we've discussed many times in the past, there are some anti-aliasing and detail benefits you get from running it, even at a higher resolution than your monitor supports. Now, to my naked eye, personally, I cannot see the difference between this and the 1440p 4K we were using earlier. This is officially higher than 4K, and I can't tell the difference at all. But I will say, as I'm running through here and looking at the Temple of Time in the distance, I feel like there is a greater level of detail that I probably would not get at all at lower resolutions. So let's go ahead and just confirm that. Let's go down to just native and apply that real quick. Oh yeah, everything kind of is blurry, but we crank up those graphics and suddenly everything is just razor sharp. We really are playing an entirely new game. Alright, we're about to get into some combat. No way, I just beat that guy. Oh, whoops. I am a little weak. Very nice. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I am still not used to the controls in this game, as I haven't played Breath of the Wild since it came out, like 6 years ago. Jumping with the top button is so strange. I wish you could remap it, but it's all good. You just have to adjust over time. But yeah, what a beautiful sight. I literally can't get over how cool this looks. Okay, well, I have to say, I wish I could experience the entire game like this. But since I haven't played this game before, and I need to get fully immersed in the story, and the cutscenes, and all the stuff that the game intends you to experience, I can't sacrifice ruining the story over just some smoother, cleaner gameplay. I mean, I will admit, this is, wow. I'm just blown away at how visually appealing this is. But it's not worth it to sacrifice the first time experience at all. So, Tears of the Kingdom. Excellent game, and even a much more excellent future. In 2 to 3 years, we will see the most awesome footage of this game running at 4K 60 FPS, and I look forward to it. If you had a good time, you might like the episode I made about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but the Mario Galaxy and Mario Sunshine episodes are awesome too. The playlist for the PC series is on screen. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.